This video will show you how to not feel stuck using the law of attraction. I'm going to share with you practical tools that you can apply to allow yourself to break through any mental wall that we might create in our mind to really be who we prefer to be. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all about understanding the definitions that we give ourselves, the self-fulfilling prophecies of when we say we feel a certain way and how that ends up becoming the results. The other thing I want to focus on is little ways that we can look at our life situation in a new way so that we can really push through any barriers that we create to be who we prefer. Now the first part of this is something that I talk a lot about in other videos. It's understanding the power of what we define to be true. Many times people will create the experience of being stuck. But you see, the funny thing about it is that the only constant that there is in life is change. Everything is always changing. Now, there are times we can create the illusion that things are remaining the same, but the paradox is that things are actually changing. They just appear to be the same because of our own definitions. We're changing and making things so similar to the way that they were before that we figure that they are static. But of course, everything is always changing. So if there's something that we're consistently experiencing and we feel stuck, the idea is we must come in tune with our definitions of the situation. Many times it's just simply thinking, I am stuck, I'm in this limbo, I'm in this waiting period. Well, if that is the case, then what I do encourage you to do is to go within. Anytime things aren't changing on the outside, it normally has to do with us on the inside. So what we must do is start to go within, and when we realize that what we do is we change ourselves from the inside out, we're then going to see a greater degree of change. Now, the tool that I want to give you is understanding NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and how we use the internal representations of our mind. Internal representations is the meaning that we give to certain things. And if we associate things with being fearful, then that will lock us up and keep us from moving forward. If we have an internal representation of an outcome of what we want to experience, of us maybe being successful with what we want to do, of us pushing through any mental barriers that come in our way, then what happens is we're much more likely to push through because of what we are moving towards. So what I encourage you to do is to have a strong vision for what you want to experience. Have a strong outcome of what that is, and that will make it easier for you to move towards. When it comes to me putting in a massive amount of action into what I do, I have such a strong vision for the outcome of who I prefer to be, of the outcome of in a year from now where I could be if I put in all this action. Therefore, it's easy for me to move forward because there's so much pleasure that is associated with that. Now, the other side of that is, of course, I focus on the present moment, on enjoying the moment, not needing that external future to feel better, but the idea is that those internal representations very strongly drive me towards it. So if you're experiencing being stuck or some type of limbo state, I encourage you to change your internal representations by having a strong vision for the future and what you want to create, who you want to become. By having that strong internal representation, you then have for yourself a symbol of something that you can move towards. If you even imagine right now the best possible version of yourself, and you imagine the things you'd be doing, the way that you would be responding to other people, the way that you'd be behaving, what happens is you begin to mirror and start to breathe in a similar fashion. And as you do that, you start to change your physiology, which changes the way you feel, changes the hormones in your body, and you start to then embody a better version of yourself. So the idea behind this is to just have a strong mental representation of who you want to be and who you really are. So it's really about removing the labels that no longer serve us. And what you can then begin to do is start to move towards what you want. Remember, at the same time, everything that we experience in our life has to do with focus. And if we are focused on things not changing, we're creating that illusion over and over again because of our focus. If we're focused on our internal representations, or the visions of what we want to experience. We're focused on that visualization. We are moving towards it. Whatever we focus on will grow. So the idea is to focus on being the best version of ourselves. Focus on moving towards those things. Focus on associating pleasure with that vision, and we will start to move towards it. But remember, at the same time, everything is constantly changing. It's simply a matter of being aware of what that change is and deciding that we're going to have a conscious choice in the internal representations that we have, in the direction of what we want, associating pleasure with the process. And as we do that more and more, we'll find that things actually start to happen for us rather than to us. So remember that your definitions are creating the experience that you have. If you drop the definition of feeling stuck and you simply decide you're going to move forward, you will start to move forward. If you decide to have a strong mental representation of what you want to move towards, you will start to allow that to grow. You will change your physiology. You will change your breathing. You will start to feel more confident about yourself because what you're focused on. And as you do that, you'll find that things happen in a much more smooth way, and you're much more likely to actually experience what you want. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you're able to see the daily vids that I do. And also, I put a free PDF inside the description box on the top 3 advanced law of attraction techniques that have changed my life. So check that out if you want to see that as well. So other than that, peace, much love, namaste.